That is how you respond to adversity. That is how you respond to gut check. Great job, guys, in that second half. Let's go. What's up, my fellow Michiganians, Michiganders, whatever you happen to call yourselves? Victory Saturday afternoon. We always have to be grateful for that. Don't care how it looks. 6-0 is 6-0, and I'm happy about it. So I'm not going to complain about a win. I just got to say, I'm very proud of this team for the way they responded to the Mike Hart situation, to the way they responded to just getting punched in the first half, because let's face it, we did not play good football in the first half. Indiana came out with their mouths foaming, and really, it was a gut check. It really was. And Michigan responded beautifully in the second half. Outscored them 21-0, and really, it wasn't that close. We could have easily scored 35, but JJ threw an interception, which was a nice play by the defender, but we were on the cusp of scoring right there. But just some immediate reactions from the game. Number one, on the positive, our pass rush is dominant. I actually think it's better than last year. Call me crazy, but the fact of the matter is we have more guys that can rush the passer than last year. Last year we just had Hutchinson, Ojabo, and occasionally you had Hinton getting pressure on the quarterback. This year you got Mike Morris, who's been an absolute beast this year. You got Oki, who's been really good on the edge. You got Jalen Harrell, who's been steady and has played very well. You got Braden McGregor, who finally got in the mix and got a couple of sacks. You got Derek Moore. You got Mozzie Smith in the middle. You got Chris Jenkins as well, and same with Brendan Graham in the middle. All those guys have created pressure, and today, albeit not against the best offensive line, they did a beautiful job. Really, I think that Maryland game looked more like good Maryland offensive line than bad Michigan defensive line. And we still got 3 sacks in that game. It's not like we didn't create any pressure in that game. So our pass rush is really, really good, and I think that's going to be what this team is going to be built off of. For the past 3 weeks, really the past 2 weeks actually, we've been dominant, beating offensive linemen. So kudos to that group, done a great job. As for the offensive side of the ball, I got to say, first half really, really got me frustrated because I like the fact that we're a team that can just line up and run the football on you. But the thing is, you can't win being one-dimensional because eventually teams are going to load up the box, crash in. You could tell Indiana was being very aggressive on first and second down, and that's why we were struggling so much. So I was screaming at Matt Weiss and Sharon Moore, come on, guys. It's time to mix it up on first down. Well, you know something. Then we started to throw the ball on first down. Ronnie Bell over the middle, Luke Schoonmaker over the middle. Those two guys have been very, very good this year. And even Cornelius Johnson downfield making some big plays. You notice that once we started to throw the ball on first down, then the running game started to pick up. Then we started to get that push. You know, the linebackers weren't quite as committal to stopping the run. So that's just it. Football's all about having a balanced attack. And that's why I said that Indiana was going to be a great team to face this week, because it was a great chance for us to work on our passing game. And we did it without Roman Wilson. So good job by J.J. McCarthy, other than the interception. Great job by Ronnie Bell, Cornelius Johnson, and the wide receiver group. Eventually started to pick it up and have the kind of game I expected them to have against a bad secondary. So overall, it's a great second half after an absolutely abysmal first half. Secondary eventually started to understand, hey, we don't get beat deep, we win this game. Because when you get beat deep, that's when the pass interferences come, and that's really how Indiana really was able to create points. Otherwise, we absolutely shut them down. So how good can this Michigan team really be? I'd like to think that we could still win the Big Ten, but the truth is we're going to find out a lot next week. You know, I think Penn State is a legit team with 5-star talent. Can we hang with them? Silas Henderson has game-breaking speed. And, you know, Indiana broke off a couple runs. If that's Silas Henderson breaking off those runs, those might be touchdowns. So we got to be careful of that. Obviously, they got Sean Clifford. We know who he is. Pretty darn good quarterback. But the fact is, this Penn State team has a ton of 5-star talent. So we definitely can't brush them off as, you know, just another year Penn State comes to the big house and we beat them. No. I think this Penn State team is different. And obviously they have great defensive personnel as well. So it's gut check week. This week of practice is going to be absolute hell for the Wolverines. But it's going to be very, very exciting as well. This is the game where we find out, is Michigan contenders or pretenders? Last year we were contenders. This year, so far, I'd say we're on the right trajectory. But I need to see us at least hang in there with Penn State to say we're contenders. And I'd like to think that that's going to be the case. But I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I'm just trying to say that this is the team's chance to have something to prove. You know, put all that, oh, we haven't played a tough schedule, all that stuff away. This game next week is our chance to shut everybody up and realize Michigan is for real. So focus this week in practice. Can't commit 10 penalties again. I think that's self-explanatory. Usually this team is much better with that. I think next week we'll cut down the sloppy mistakes. We'll come in ready to play in front of a maize and blue crowd. It's going to be awesome. All right. Thank you all for listening. Michigan 31, Indiana 10. Wolverines improved to 6-0. 6-0 is 6-0. I love it. And you all have a good rest of your day. Professor Pugh will be back, too, to give out grades on Monday.